I'd been given the job at Manchester City 9 games before the end of the season. We went on a really good run. We were sort of mid-table, went on a really good run and got us to 8th in the league before the last game of the season.
Yep.
7th in the league were Middlesbrough, who we were playing at home. So we had to win to go above them to get into Europe. A draw and a victory for them would keep them in a European. It was the year before they got to the final. Do you remember they got a European final?
Yeah, I do.
So I was sat at home on a Friday night and I thought, you know what, I've got to win the game. So what can I do if the game is a stalemate leading into the end of the game and whatever, to bring the crowd to the party and stoke up some sort of atmosphere? And I thought to myself, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to come in and I'm going to put J-Mo up front. I had that up my sleeve. So I come in the morning, right, before you butt in, I said to myself, John Mackin weren't scoring and weren't playing well, by the way, our centre forward who was on the bench.
So take that,
Robbie Fowler was up front, no problem. So I've come in, I said to the kit man in the morning, Les Chapman, I said, just print me a number 1 James outfield shirt. He said, is J-Mo playing up front? I said, listen, don't tell him for goodness sake. Otherwise he'll be looking at me after 2 minutes waiting to go up front. So J-Mo didn't know anything about it. So I come in, I said to my assistant, Steve Wigley, I said, Wiggs, I've got a great idea. I said, if we're chasing the game late on, 10 minutes to go, I'm going to put J-Mo up front. We'll go long to J-Mo. You know, the crowd will come to the party and we'll have a last hurrah. He said to me, like any good assistant would, he said, you've had some crack brain teams. And
or have you been drinking?
This is the worst one of the lot. He said, I don't want anything to do with it. Hasselbank scored a free kick on 35 minutes, so Middlesbrough go 1-0 up. We equalise. The game's meandering along. On 75 minutes, I look at Wiggs, the assistant, and I say, what do you think?
He went, no.
He said, no chance. He said, you're on your own, you idiot. I said, all right, fine. So we're on about 78 minutes. So I decided, Nicky Weaver, go and get warmed up. J-Mo's looking at me as he wants to put my lights out. He thinks he's being taken off.
Yeah.
J-Mo comes over at the touchline. I give him the outfield shirt. He goes to play up front.
What did he not say? You're joking, Gaffer?
No, he loved it, J-Mo.
Did he?
Yeah, so he went up front. I've got to say, I didn't give him any instruction. I didn't say, at 6'5", you would and can jump out the clouds, J-Mo. You would expect him to get on the end of diagonals, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
He plays as a number 10.
Oh.
He drops deep, tries to get on the ball. He's tripping over the ball. He's having an absolute disaster of a time. He had the worst impact of anyone that could have come on. Anyway, 4 minutes after he does come on, even though this had nothing to do with J-Mo whatsoever, we get a penalty.
Yeah.
Robbie's got the ball on the spot, 82 minutes. I'm thinking to myself, if he scores this, we're in Europe. People are going to turn around and say he's the new Mourinho. Absolute masterstroke, putting J-Mo up front. It's upset Southgate and Ekiog. It distracted them and whatever. We win the game. Schwarzer saves the penalty. So I get belters for it, but listen, that's the nature of it. You take a gamble. Everything's got a reason.
Well,
whether you agree with it or not, it's got a reason.
Do you regret it or not?
No chance. No, it's a masterstroke. I regret Robbie not scoring a penalty. If Robbie would have scored a penalty, they'd have viewed.
I know you got a funny taste in music. Would One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest be your favourite film?
Oh, he's up there. When I was a non-league player, because I was under contract, I couldn't play with my mates on a Sunday morning. So I changed my name to a Russian goalkeeper called Yak Jensen, right? Listen, it's a true story. I used to wear big, long black shorts when shorts were in, with CCCP, the Russian symbol across the knees. And the name Jensen spelt out on my back as the number 1. I used to take all free kicks, go up for every corner, no matter what state of the game. First minute of the game, I'd go and take the free kicks on the edge of the box or go up for corners. Our centre forward got fed up with me one year, Mick the Dog White. He was on 6 goals. I was top scorer on 7. So I played for 2.5 years until I come out my box once and some kids kicked me on the side of the leg. Right. And I thought, it's a bit sore, but I didn't think anything of it. Yeah. The following week, and we were playing at Runcorn in the league for Wealdstone on the Saturday. In the warm-up, I'm twisting and turning, and I felt as though someone had thrown a lump of mud at the side of my leg. That's what it felt like. Right. The small bone in my body had been broke the Sunday before and totally went as I was turning at Runcorn. I've come into the dressing room and said to the manager, I think I broke my leg. So, as they did in those days, give it 5 minutes and see how you go. So I started the game, and after about 10 minutes, I had to come off. Went for a scan on Monday morning. I broke the fibula bone, and that was my goalkeeping finish then.
You played 8 seasons for the man.
Yeah, I was really fortunate. He signed me when I was a 23-year-old from Coventry, and as I say, 8 seasons with him. I think 7 of those as his captain. Fantastic time. So,
could you really describe your relationship as a close one, Stuart?
No. I always had the impression he never really liked me, if I'm being quite honest with you. I just had that impression with him as though...
Why?
I don't think I was his ideal type of player. He liked centre-forwards that would hold the ball up, people like Johnny Metgod that were silky good footballers. I was a more sort of bludgeon my way through life as a left-back, and I think at the end he probably respected what I'd done for the team, but in the main I wasn't his ideal type of footballer, I don't think.
Did you fall out with him much?
No, I didn't, to be honest with you. Always in fear of him in many ways, you know what I mean, because of everything he was. I'll tell you a great story. We signed a fella called Dave Curry from Barnsley for 650 grand one pre-season, so he come and joined us. And we were about 3 weeks into the pre-season. Dave had been there 3 weeks. And we went to play at Derby in a pre-season friendly, and we were sat in the baseball ground. And when Cloughie was in the dressing room, no one said a word. So all the players are sat round. We're about 10 minutes before we're about to go out to play. And he looked across the dressing room to Dave Curry, stared him straight in the eyes and went, have you found yourself a house yet, Dave? Dave said, no, not yet, boss. He went, don't bother, son. After 3 weeks of being at the club, he decided he ain't for me.
Wow.
Every day was different, I've got to say. Great education, fantastic motivator of men, for good and for bad. There's times where if you felt as though you were getting a little bit cockadoodle, he would bring you down and he would crush you. On other days, when you were at rock bottom, he would be fantastic to lift you up. Kept the game really simple, people think that they go into real depth, people like Brian Clough, but bear in mind I was walking through the door in awe of a man, I've got to say, and everyone that was at Nottingham Forest at the time, this was 1985, you were scared stiff of him. He had that aura about him. I've never seen a person dominate a room like him with his personality when he was in his pomp. He was incredible, and you never knew what was coming next. He called me in September. Bear in mind we'd been 2 games into a season. He called me in September as his club captain and went, players look a bit jaded, I think we need holiday, skipper. So I said, totally agree, boss. Next thing on Monday morning, we're off. We're on an aeroplane and we're in sort of Mallorca, sunning it on the back end of the tourist season. 2 games into a football season, it was just bizarre, But fantastic man to work for, great personality, and done so much for me in my game, and me probably growing up as a man as well, from a boy to a man.
That move for you though, from non-league or from semi-pro, from Wilson going to Coventry, and then you covered yourself still when you went to Nottingham Forest. Is it true that you still put an advert for your electrician skills in the programme because you didn't think you were going to be a footballer that long?
Well, I left Brent Council. I'd worked there, just finished my apprenticeship by 6 weeks, and Brent said, as luck happens, they said to me, look, if you go into the pro game, we'll keep your job open in case it doesn't work out, which was fantastic at the time. So, when you look back, you think, well, it's ridiculous, but at the time, you're thinking, I'm giving a trade up here to go and take a cut in wages as well, really? To go into the pro game. Yeah, I think I took a cut in wages of about £30 on my overall part-time football wages and trade wages. So I carried on working when I was at Coventry first off, wiring houses and stuff like that in the afternoons and training in the morning. And then when I went to Forest, I said to Cloughie, do you mind, I've got my own business, my electrical business. I work for myself, basically. So I had my own phone line installed in my house. I advertised in the programme. And I worked for probably the first 2 years when I was at Nottingham Forest. So as a pro footballer, probably 3 years I traded as electrician as well.
That's amazing.
But a lot of people done that sort of thing, I mean, when I was at Coventry, Nicky Plattner and Graham Withy, 2 of the players there, they bought themselves a van and were doing garden clearances. There was a lot of people, you know what it's like, Cammy.
I was a hairdresser.
I find that hard to believe. But a lot of people done that to supplement their wages.
Did you find that after a bad defeat, you'd get the phone calls and the jobs would be a bit tougher than after a good victory?
to be fair, most people that picked the phone up were sort of, I was at the game last night. Are you the fella? I had to say, excuse me, do you mind putting the phone down? I'm waiting for business here.
They wanted to have a word.
It's a different world then.
As 58 times he played for England, he was on the losing side 4 times. If you ignore penalty shootouts, 4 times Gaz was on the losing side. That probably tells you everything about him. We went to the World Cup in 1990. Bobby Robson sat us all down and said, gentlemen, we got 7 games in 90-degree heat here in Italy, and if we're going to do that and win the competition, we're going to have to conserve energy. So we're all, like yourselves, listening, hanging on his every word, did the great ambassador of football, Bobby Robson. Following day, I'm on a sunbed. There's a commotion going on, I open my eyes. On the diving board, Gascoigne, bouncing up and down, giggling, has gone to the toilet, he's mummified himself in bog roll from head to foot. You can't see any of him. He's bouncing up and down. Bear in mind we're in a hotel, not just the players in those days, members of the public, everyone else. Gascoigne's bouncing up and down giggling. He launches himself off the diving board, swims a length underwater, the bog roll floats to the top, a naked Gascoigne pops out the other end, walks through the crowd, still giggling, disappears off somewhere, got him in as well. Everyone round the swimming pool is laughing. That night we had dinner. Bobby Robson's, I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if Bobby realises what went on that afternoon, and if so, how's he going to deal with the situation? A couple of nights before, he's delivered the bombshell, rest, recuperation, no stupidity, blah, blah, blah. We finish our dinner, we're in a room probably this size, he went, no one leave, till I've had a word with you. We finish our dinner, everyone's there, listening to his every word. He looks out across the room brilliantly, catches no one's eye line, and just puts the words out there fantastically. Gentlemen, there's a fucking idiot amongst us. The incredible thing is, only the idiot was looking round to see who it was. Incredible. But what a great... Let me tell you another story on Gazza. I love this one. After the 91 Cup final, Gazza got injured, but he'd already signed for Lazio. So he went to Lazio, but done a year's recovery. That following year, which was in the summer of 92, Dino Zoff was his manager at Lazio, one of the strictest World Cup winner with Italy, ex-goalkeeper, one of the biggest disciplinarians football has ever seen, and he's got Gazza in his squad. So they go off pre-season in the Italian Alps. They're on the coach going up there. They're going for 2 weeks, 4 training sessions per day. Eat, sleep and train football, nothing else. Zoff is in the front seat reading the Gazzetta dello Sport, a Marni suit, looking immaculate, digesting every stat from last year to make him and his team better. As the coach goes up, it goes into an alpine tunnel, the coach blacks out. Zoff is still at the front seat, left-hand side. As they get towards the end of the tunnel, the coach illuminates. Next to Zoff is a naked Gascoigne in the sun. Cross-legged. Zoff looks at him and thinks, fuck me. True story.
I'll tell you the exact truth of what went on, and then Martin will brush over it in his version of. Okay, just before that, we had a corner. Okay, at West Ham. We had a corner, and I must have just brushed past his kit. No more than that. Literally no more than that. He turned round, grabbed hold of me by the throat. My legs were off the floor. My little legs were going like that. He was throttling me at the time. Bear in mind, I'm 45, 46 years old. He's picking on the elderly. I was off the floor. In the end, obviously Patrick's come and broke things up a little bit and managed to calm him down. Where it come from, and he tells me outside the studio.
Yes.
Well, the West Ham fans were giving me sticks, so I thought I'd take it out on you. Unbelievable.
That was outrageous of you, Martin. And that's why you've got the reputation you've got. What was your version of events?
Well, no, it was just one of those, like over the years, Stuart was always very physical, and I think I never really got a chance to show a little bit back. And I think I don't think he brushed into, I bumped into him, and I thought, okay, let's just let him know that he can't come into my area. If he does, he's going to feel a little bit of power, a bit of strength.
Yes.
And it was just, and then Stuart was like, what's this all about? I haven't seen this before.
Right, I'll put a word down here, Jim.
Go on.
Premeditated. Add that to what he's just said. You know what I mean? He's been building up over the years to throttle me on that day.
I do apologise to Stuart because, in fact, I've been apologising. I've been apologising to so many players when I finished.
You go, you've got
but
to
it was
apologise.
a match mode. And honestly, when you went to Upton Park and anyone who was back there, honestly, the stick they gave me fired me up. We won that game actually that day. I was never ever really going to lose at Upton Park. It rarely happened. Such was the venom from the fans. It made me just play with that little bit extra fire. So Stuart, you just got caught in a storm, fella. That's all.
Well, it seemed that way, to be fair. The biggest insult I've had is he's apologised for throttling me. I quite enjoyed it actually.
And you were about 45. I mean, that really was outrageous.
Yeah.
That is it's a brilliant picture, isn't it? Look